All right, guys, so I'm here with Coach Mike Smith.
What's up? Good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for being here, Leland.
Thank you. I'm looking around as the athletes are kind of warming up. It got me getting loose, you know what I mean?
Right. That's
I'm
right.
Stretching inadvertently.
That's right. We're going to have you running marathons in no time.
No, sir, not gonna do that. But what's been kind of the secret to the success in Flagstaff?
Definitely our high altitude. So the athletes come here and train at 7,000 feet. Their body adjusts to this altitude. Then we drop down to lower elevations where there's a lot more oxygen and they move oxygen more efficiently. So that's probably the biggest thing.
I haven't fully experienced it yet, but I definitely experienced the kind of weather change.
Right.
How does that kind of translate to actual race day?
Well, up here, you know, in the mountains, the conditions can be variable here. It's this morning when you got out here, it feels like maybe wintertime and the sun will make things warmer, but the conditions are always changing. So we know if you can train up here in Flagstaff, you can race anywhere. A lot of athletes, professional athletes, college athletes will come here as they're building their aerobic base. So when there's a big focus on aerobic training, so duration, endurance, long training stimulus, they'll come here to do that as their body adjusts to how they're moving oxygen. Then they'll leave this place and go to wherever they're from or their training locations and prepare to compete. So for the same reason that our college athletes are drawn here, the best athletes in the world are drawn here.
Now, one thing I kind of noticed after the team came back from a big run, everybody's kind of jovial and still standing upright, which I would have been on my knees for one. But describe the Lumberjack culture.
First of all, like when they come back from the run, you'll see that they didn't need to push too hard today. So they're keeping the run with an easy intensity. And that's one of the great benefits of altitude is you don't have to push too hard to get the benefits up here. But you'll see that the team, runs together and they stay together. And that's a huge part of what we do. Everything is team here. Cross country is only a team sport to us here. So there's a big focus on running together, spending time together, pushing each other together. The strength is within the group.
Obviously, the team is a big aspect, but also the multiple changes in weather, because correct me if I'm wrong, in a cross country meet, you kind of could be in high humidity, snow. So how does that kind of bode well here?
So our national championships are held at the end of November and the site moves. So, we could be facing, hot conditions. We were in Florida this past year. So, racing in heat and humidity. We could be racing in snow. A couple years back, though, we had snow in Wisconsin. So yeah, we have to be ready for anything, and particularly that time of year, end of November, no matter where the site is, lots of locations in America are going to have varied conditions. So we feel like, training up here in the mountains, prepares these athletes for anything they could face.
Okay, we've talked enough about this stuff, but we're here for track. So let's go check out some of the workouts. Right. Maybe put me through a few. Not too much. I'm a hooper. I don't run.
All right, runner set. Runner set. When athletes are trying to run fast, you want as little time on the ground as possible. Come on, we gotta get out. So if you strike with your heel, you go here and then off with your toe. It takes a long time. You want to be cha, 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 bah, bah, bah. In order to do that, when you strike, you can't be spending a lot of time behind you. You want to have this circle occurring in front of you. So you'll see, think of like a sprinter, it's ta, ta, ta out here versus cycling through slow, slow, slow up. So these drills, these little hurdles force people to land in front of them, step over their ankle. And for long distance runners, that's like the most challenging thing.
Hi guys, so I'm here with Tyler Shoemate, the Assistant Athletic Director of Sports Performance. Got it. The facility is brand spanking new. You guys recently did the ribbon cutting, or as they mentioned, the log cutting. What's been a great part about this area in this new space?
Just the space in general. 11,500 square feet of space to work with. As far as racks, we got 21. So that has made it unbelievable because previously we had 12. So now as someone like the cross country team who's 40, 50 people deep, when you talk about both sides, now we can train them all at once rather than bringing them in groups, and we're able to efficiently coach them all, and everybody has plenty of space to do all their stuff.
When it comes to cross country specifically, when you're running, you're losing a lot of weight. Right. Do you kind of bulk up for cross country, or how does that kind of?
No, so what we try to do is we try to achieve a base level of strength, and we don't need any more than that base level of strength because muscle is heavy. Muscle takes a lot of energy to run, and muscles generate a lot of heat. All bad things
for running,
for distance running, right? So what we really try to focus on is movement, because while cross country isn't high impact, but it's the repeated impact.
All right, coach, we're on the turf. getting ready to get some mobility in. Who do we have here? I see we joined by the superstars.
We are Abdi, Nico, and Drew right here.
Okay, what kind of cycle are we going through?
Yeah, so we're gonna go through our little mobility. So as I just talked about over there, while it's not high impact, it's repeated impact on each leg every step they take. So we need to prepare the joints to be able to sustain that repeated impact over and over and over again. So we always start every warm up with some breathing, okay? Just belly breathing, so we make sure we're breathing right. We don't wanna breathe from the chest. We're more efficient from the belly. So we'll drop to our bellies here, and then we'll put our hands on top of each other and our forehead on our hands. And we're just gonna breathe in through the nose. We're gonna fill that belly as much as possible. We're gonna pause at the top, and then we'll let it out. Okay, so now let's do some of our ankle stuff. We'll get your feet towards me. We'll be on our backs. The whole purpose of this, we're gonna keep that left leg straight. We're gonna go right leg up. These guys obviously already know what's going on.
Okay.
And we're gonna support the leg with our hands here.
Okay.
And what we're gonna do is max out the range of motion. So the whole goal here is to draw as big a circle as you can with your big toe. So you might hear some clicking, some popping, you might be in some crunchy spots. We wanna roll right through those, really working on maxing out the range of motion so we can gain some mobility in that ankle.
I definitely felt the popping.
Totally normal, totally normal. Once you get 10 on one side, we can go ahead and switch the other way here.
How's my range of motion looking? My ankle's been kind of tight lately too.
Not as good as the other three, but we're getting there, we're getting there. Now we'll just stay in the same position here. We'll post the right leg just like Drew's got here. And we're just gonna go into our basic hamstrings extensions. So we're just gonna raise that leg up as high as you can. Oh, look at that, perfectly vertical. We'll get 10 there, and then we'll go 10 the other side. And then what we'll do is we'll bend both our knees, set up right just like Nico here. We're gonna have our heels driven into the ground. All we're gonna do is some basic glute bridges just to get our glute firing before we hit the weights. So we'll just drive those hips up to the ceiling, and we're gonna squeeze our glutes at the top. We'll get 10 reps there. All right, so now we'll pop up to our feet here, and we'll get our Corpus squats. And on these ones, we want our toes pointed forward. We're actually gonna let the heels come up. So we're gonna sink as deep as we can. We're gonna let those heels come up. You'll probably hear some clicking and some popping, maybe some Velcro sounds in the knee, perfectly normal. Come up, and the whole reason we're doing that, on the way up, you're gonna focus through pushing through the big toe. So a proper functioning big toe is essential for speed and power. It's actually accountable for 70% of power output while we're sprinting. We'll do some hip stuff. We'll do it on a cadence again, so we'll go fire hydrants. Okay, so guys, we'll be all fours here. You can face me. We're just gonna be with the right leg. We're gonna get 5 fire hydrants, so all that is exactly like a dog. We're just gonna raise, back down, okay? Hence the name fire hydrants. And then we'll go forward circles. I'll let you guys roll on that on your own. And then we'll go reverse circles. I'll let you guys roll on that on your own. So we'll go right leg here, fire hydrants. Our cadence will be out and in. Ready? Out, in, out, in, out, in. Now just go ahead and hit 5 forward circles on your own. So we'll go fire hydrants on the left now. Out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in. And then on your own, 5 forward, 5 backward.
You said this is the mobility and not the actual workout?
This is not the actual workout. We're still just warming up here. So now we'll go into our Spider-Man with a twist, which is gonna work our T-spine, which is essentially that mid-back, okay? So we'll get in a long lunge position here. We'll keep this right knee up. We're gonna take this left hand, we're gonna post it right beside the foot here. Now we're gonna work on keeping these hips down, so that way we're in a straight line through the top of the head from this back heel all the way through the top, okay? And then we're just gonna thread the needle here under the arm. I'll say open, you'll open as far as you can. Eyes are gonna follow this thumb. Close, we'll be back.
Whew, I'm ready.
All right.
Maybe not for the miles, but ready for something. All right, Coach, so we're in the masterpiece, the brainchild of Flagstaff, right?
That's right. The Student Athlete High Performance Center, this is our altitude chamber. We are in a sealed room where we can control the perceived altitude, so the simulated altitude. We can raise the altitude or lower the altitude. We can go as high as 12,000 feet and as low as 2,000 feet. So close to sea level. The big thing that helps with this facility is the limiting factor for altitude training in Flagstaff are there's certain intensities that we can't run because we're so high. So at 7,000 feet, when these guys try to run certain intensities on the track, they can't hold them very long. When we lower the altitude in this room, we can run faster for longer. We can actually access the paces that we would need to be in, Phoenix or another comparable location to actually be able to run. But these are paces that they would have a hard time holding if they were out on the track at 7,000 feet. We can also raise the altitude, which makes more of an aerobic stress on the body. So these athletes adjust to the lack of oxygen at 7,000 feet. So we can make more of a demand on their aerobic system if we raise the altitude in this room.
Can you show me like some of the features of some of the treadmills?
Okay, sure thing, yeah. So these are Woodwave 4Fronts, the best treadmills in the game. The belts that are made of slats are great for cushioning. Go ahead and give that a go. Do you feel the shock absorption of the belt?
Yeah, it's almost like a comfortable ride, like it's a smooth ride.
Yeah, so that makes a big difference when they're pushing down really hard. And these guys are running 100 miles in a week, and so impact is really, really important for what they're doing. This is 14 miles an hour, so this is about the pace that Api Hamid held for his NCAA championship. In sports science, there's two big tests we look for. We look for how they're moving oxygen to the working muscle, and then we look at their running economy, how efficient their movement is. So we can work on that with their mechanics on a regular basis. So if we train their fitness only to a certain level and we can't get them any more fit with maxed out workouts, we can still get them faster by making them more efficient. So they can run that pace for about 2 hours at 7,000 feet. It would be like a race effort for even a good athlete. And that's a pretty easy effort for them. But they're able to do that, from years and years of training and building up to those intensities.
All right, guys, so I'm here with Api Hamid and Drew, the superstars of the NAU, but it's a team, right?
Yes, sir.
Kind of talk me through, before we get into this run, what should I be talking about mentally in my head? What's going on through your head during a race?
In race days, we usually have team meetings and we talk about our strategies and the way we want to race. Each person has a different job to do and different tasks to take on. So for me and Drew, most of the time is like, put yourself in the front of that group, stay relaxed, make sure you're paying attention to the bodies around you, and try to observe as much energy as possible in the beginning, and then when the race winds down towards the end is like, you look for your teammates and then you move together and finish together.
So he kind of mentioned the teammates, and it is individual what you guys doing. You were kind of running as a team. So how do you guys kind of keep yourself in position, and how do you kind of, maybe somebody kind of fell behind it, how do you kind of motivate the rest of your team during the race?
During the race, racing can be crazy. It can be chaotic and stressful. And I think having teammates with you is kind of the steady part of what we do. That's kind of what we go to in race situations. We try to find each other during the race, and that can make it a little more normalized because we train together and do everything together as it is, so that helps out a lot.
Shout out to our partners at The Game Day. The Game Day is a new sports and sports betting media company built for today's fan. Check out the link in our bio and on our community tab for all their great content, and head to their website at thegameday.com for the latest sportsbook promos, betting tips, expert picks, and sportsbook app reviews.